There's nothing worse than being all set for an adventure and then your RV decides to pull a fast one on you. One minute you're cruising down the highway dreaming about that perfect campsite, and the next you're pulled over with steam coming out of the hood. It's frustrating, stressful, and honestly, it happens way more than you'd think. RV engines have this reputation for being a bit unpredictable. Some engines have been known to have reliability issues, either due to design flaws, poor maintenance history, or because some designs cut corners to save costs. Either way, plenty of RV owners have been stuck dealing with breakdowns, expensive repairs, or engines that just won't deliver on the promise of adventure. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 10 engines and the common issues you need to watch out for. Let's get into it. The Ford 6.8-liter V10 Triton has a bit of a reputation when it comes to spark plug issues. Some owners have dealt with plugs that either blow out of the cylinder head or get stuck so badly they feel like they're welded in. It's the kind of problem that can turn a simple tune-up into a frustrating and expensive repair. The Ford 6.8-liter V10 Triton is a powerhouse engine, but it's not without its quirks, overheating being a big one. It's often caused by things like worn-out cooling system parts or the engine working overtime, especially in heavier RVs. If that cooling system isn't in top shape, you could find yourself pulled over waiting for everything to cool down. Another common issue is with the fuel injectors. They can clog up or fail, which leads to misfires and that annoying check engine light coming on. If you're noticing rough idling or poor fuel efficiency, those injectors might be the culprit, and it's something you'll want to sort out sooner rather than later to keep things running smoothly. If you're looking at an RV with the Ford 6.8-liter V10 Triton, you might want to think about its reliability a bit. While it's a powerful engine, it does have its share of issues. If you got your eye on one, just keep these things in mind to avoid any surprises down the road. The Dodge 5.9-liter Cummins is loved for its durability, but turbocharger failures can sneak up on you. If the turbo isn't getting proper lubrication or starts wearing out, you'll notice a big drop in power and maybe some weird noises like whining or whistling. It's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially if you're putting a lot of miles on your rig. The Dodge 5.9-liter Cummins is a solid engine, but its fuel system can be a bit of a headache. The lift pump is known to fail, and when it does, it can take out the injection pump with it. Talk about an expensive domino effect. If your engine starts losing power or struggles to start, the fuel system might be where you need to look first. The Dodge 5.9-liter Cummins is often praised for its durability, but it's not totally bulletproof. One common concern is the failure of the fuel lift pump, which can lead to bigger problems with the injection pump if not caught in time. There's also the issue of weak dowel pins in earlier models, which can come loose and cause some serious internal damage. If you're running on one of these engines, staying on top of maintenance is key to keeping it going strong. The GM 6.0-liter V8 is known as a workhorse engine with plenty of power, but the injection system can sometimes let you down. Issues like clogged or failing injectors are pretty common and can lead to rough idling, loss of power, or poor fuel efficiency. If you notice those symptoms, it's worth checking out the injectors before the problem snowballs into something more expensive. The fuel system headaches don't stop there. The fuel pump can sometimes give out, leaving you with poor performance or even a no-start situation. So keeping an eye on these parts is a must. Despite being a top-tier selection, the GM 6 V8 gives owners issues like excessive oil consumption, which can sneak up on you if you're not keeping an eye on it. If you're running this engine, regular maintenance and catching small problems early can save you a lot of frustration down the line. Mercedes-Benz Sprinter diesel engines, especially the OM651, are known for their efficiency, but they can be a bit tricky. The turbocharger is one area where problems pop up, often because of carbon buildup or worn seals, which can lead to reduced power or even complete failure. Then there's the EGR valve. When that clogs up, it can cause rough idling, poor performance, and those dreaded warning lights on the dash. The OM651 is known for its efficiency, but fuel injector failures can be a big headache. When the injectors go bad, you might notice rough running, reduced power, or even a hard time starting the engine. It's an issue that can creep up over time, so keeping an eye on performance and getting regular checks can save you from costly repairs later on. DPF clogging can be a real pain. If you're not doing enough long drives to let the filter regenerate, it can get clogged up and trigger warning lights or even limp mode. To avoid this, it's a good idea to give your van a proper highway run every now and then to keep the system clean and happy. Timing chain issues can also crop up, causing some expensive repairs if ignored for too long. The OM651 is one of the best choices out there, but they do have a few reliability quirks, so stay on top of regular service and use quality parts to help avoid some of the bigger headaches. The Chrysler 3.6-liter V6 and the Ram ProMaster has been known to run into timing chain and camshaft issues, which can be a real headache. If the timing chain stretches or wears out, it can throw off the engine's timing, leading to rough running or even internal damage. Camshaft problems like wear or failure can make things worse, so keeping up with oil changes and regular maintenance is super important to avoid costly repairs. The Ram ProMaster is quite famous of having some cooling system issues. A common one is the water pump failing prematurely, which can lead to overheating if it's not not addressed quickly. You'll also want to keep an eye on the radiator and hoses, as leaks tend to pop up over time and can be a hassle if they catch you off guard. The Chrysler 3.6-liter V6 in the Ram ProMaster is a decent engine, but it does have a few reliability concerns to keep in mind. One big issue is with the oil cooler, which has been known to crack and cause leaks that can lead to costly repairs. If you're using one, regular checks on the oil and cooling system can go a long way in preventing unexpected breakdowns. The Ford 6.4-liter Power Stroke diesel, found in models from 2008 to 2010, has had its fair share of turbocharger troubles. One common issue is turbo failure due to soot buildup, which can lead to poor performance or even leave you stranded. Regular maintenance, like cleaning and servicing the turbo, is key if you want to avoid these costly repairs and keep things running smoothly. The Ford 6.4-liter Power Stroke diesel is known for its EGR cooler problems. When the cooler fails, it can cause coolant to leak into the exhaust, leading to white smoke, overheating, and even engine damage if it's not caught early. If you've got one of these engines, keeping an eye out for early signs of trouble can save you from a lot of frustration and an expensive repair bill. This engine has had its share of trouble with the oil cooler and fuel injectors. The oil cooler is known to fail, causing coolant to mix with the engine oil, which can lead to some serious engine damage if not addressed. Fuel injectors can also fail prematurely, leading to rough idling, poor fuel economy, and a lot of frustration, especially if you're not keeping an eye on things. The Ford 6.4 Power Stroke diesel from 2008 to 2010 is a beast when it comes to power, but it's not without its issues. The fuel injectors can also fail prematurely, leading to rough idling or even engine damage if not fixed. If you've got one of these trucks, staying on top of maintenance, especially with the exhaust and fuel systems, can help keep you out of trouble. With the Freightliner and International 7.6-liter DT466 diesel engines, head gasket failures are a pretty common issue. If the gaskets go bad, it can lead to coolant leaks, overheating, and even engine damage if not addressed quickly. If you're running one of these engines, regular checks for leaks and overheating signs can save you a lot of headaches down the road. The Freightliners are solid performers, but their fuel systems can give you some headaches. One common issue is with the fuel injectors, which can wear out or clog over time, leading to poor performance and even engine misfires. If you're not catching these issues early, you might also run into problems with the fuel pump, which can cause some serious damage if it fails. The turbochargers on the Freightliner can run into some trouble over time. One common issue is the buildup of carbon in the turbo, which can cause it to lose efficiency or fail completely. If you're noticing a loss of power or strange noises coming from the engine, it might be a sign that the turbocharger needs attention. The Freightliner diesel engines are known for their toughness, but they do have some reliability concerns. If you're driving one of these trucks, keeping an eye on the fuel system and regularly checking for leaks can help keep things running smoothly. The Mercedes-Benz M642 3.0-liter V6 diesel engine in the Sprinter 2500 and 3500 from 2007 to 2018 can run into a few issues, especially with the fuel injectors. These injectors can become clogged or fail, leading to poor performance or even engine misfires. Another concern is the turbocharger, which can experience failure over time, especially if maintenance isn't kept up, causing a noticeable loss in power and efficiency. If you've got one of these engines, one thing to watch out for is the EGR valve clogging up. Over time, the valve can get blocked with carbon buildup, which leads to poor engine performance and even a check engine light. If you notice a decrease in power or higher emissions, cleaning or replacing the EGR valve might be something you'll need to do to keep things running smoothly. If you're driving a Mercedes-Benz M642 3.0-liter V6 diesel, you might run into some issues with the DPF, especially if you're doing a lot of short trips. The diesel particulate filter can get clogged, which can cause the engine to lose power and trigger the check engine light. If you notice your van struggling to accelerate or the fuel efficiency dropping, it could be time to check the DPF and get it cleaned or replaced. The Iveco 3.0-liter diesel engines found in many European RVs can run into trouble with their EGR and DPF systems. The EGR valve can clog up over time, leading to poor performance and increased emissions. As for the DPF, it can become blocked, causing the engine to lose power and even go into limp mode if not cleaned or replaced when needed. These engines are known to have issues with fuel injectors and turbochargers. The injectors can fail or clog, leading to poor fuel efficiency and rough running. As for the turbocharger, it can sometimes wear out, causing a loss of power and making the engine less responsive, especially when accelerating. The Chevrolet 5.7-liter V8 engines, like the 305 and 350, can run into trouble with intake manifold gasket failure. If the gasket starts leaking, you might notice rough idling, poor performance, or even coolant mixing with the oil. It's one of those issues that can sneak up on you, so it's a good idea to keep an eye out for any signs and replace the gasket before it causes bigger problems. These engines are known for their durability, but the fuel components can be a weak spot. Over time, the fuel pump can wear out or the fuel injectors can clog, causing issues with fuel delivery and performance. If you're dealing with rough idling or trouble starting, those fuel components might be the culprit and worth checking out. The timing chain can also wear out prematurely, leading to engine noise or performance issues. The Chevrolet 5.7-liter V8 is known for its toughness, but if you're planning on driving one of these, keeping an eye on these components can help prevent more serious problems down the road. If you're in the market for a second-hand RV, be sure to have the engine checked thoroughly before making the purchase. Even if everything seems fine, a silent issue could be building up under the hood. Check if the engine of the RV you have your eye on is on this list, and be sure to pay attention to the common issues that may arise. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to stay connected. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.